To tell.
When I was just 11 years old, I became a female advocate
To make a difference in as many children's lives as I could. Soul Sisters, a discourse on the woman on Smooth 98.1.
All right, we are live. That's right. It's time for Soul Sisters here on Smooth 98.1, 14th of December, 2022. It's a Wednesday and it is 11 o'clock, actually 6 minutes past 11 o'clock. That tells you again that it's time for Soul Sisters for us to discuss everything relating to the women, especially as touching pregnancy this morning. What exactly is pregnancy? You already know what pregnancy is, but then what are the things you do not hear about pregnancy? If you line about 10 pregnant women up, you can be rest assured that, yeah, experiences will be different. What they went through will be different from one another. So we're telling you this morning some things that you do not hear often about pregnancy, especially those things that you thought you knew it theoretically, but when you became pregnant, well, it was a whole different ball game. That's what we're talking about from now till 11:50. You know, of course, you can be a part of the show, right? You can. So you can either use a WhatsApp platform by sending your messages to 0809-444-0981, or you can stream live on YouTube. It is youtube.com/smooth91FM Lagos. It means you get to drop your comments in the chat box. Also, you can call the number 014489981, or you can decide to tweet at us at Smooth91FM using the hashtag SoulSisters981. I have my guest joining me via Zoom, and she is no stranger. Well, this is our first time here, but if you are very social media savvy, especially if you're active here on Nigeria Twittersphere, you will know her when it concerns health education. In fact, she's someone who fuses effortlessly health education with humor. So she puts both in the sentence, or rather in the same sentence, effortlessly, without crossing any medical boundaries. She is popularly known as Dr. Zobo, and she is a medical professional and also the founder of Smile With Me Foundation. That is a non-governmental organization that seeks to inspire a healthier Africa through public health education and also health aids and intervention programs. So please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome this professional, this public health professional, this writer, this public speaker, this digital media strategist, of course, also a compare and content creator, the one and the only Dr. Chioma Nwakanma-Akanno. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did. You did.
Oh, I am so proud of myself.
I am proud of you too. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here this morning. I mean, having to literally cross many obstacles just to be here. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Pleasure is all mine.
All right, so let's have the introduction. Now, for someone who is wondering why this topic, first, you know, Soul Sister deals with topic relating to the women, everything relating to the women. But this particular post, or rather this particular topic, was sparked by another social media post. So I like to be in tune with what is going on out there so that we are discussing things that are relatable, and whatever it is that we talk about here, you can take one thing or the other and just get better in terms of the information that we have given to you, so you can use it and then become better. So this post that I saw I think last month on Twitter, was talking about pregnancy stories and chronicles, and it was made by a Twitter user with the handle A_Nita, I believe, and she was talking about how it was so. She has heard of people's teeth falling out as a result of pregnancy, but she never just was prepared for one of it. What that one is, I'll tell you after this break. So that tells you have to grab a chair. You have to take a seat. You have to tell someone to be a part of the show. And of course, get ready to share your thoughts too on 0809-444-0981. This is Soul Sisters here on Smooth 98.1.
Music.
This is Mr. C, and you're listening to.
I just realized that I was into the ad break, so I quickly had to take that, and we come back in 3 minutes.
Okay.
That is it, yeah.
No be that kind of.
Before I'll get query from my Olga.
Now won't get data for everybody will download the app. You know me now. You can also get up to 2 gig free data when you recharge from 500 naira and above with your debit card or my MTN NG app.
Up to 2 gig data when I recharge with my debit card for my MTN NG app. This now real data, Reno.
No be there end though. You can also get 10% extra on top every airtime recharge when you recharge for my MTN NG app.
Wait, so you mean say if I recharge for money on my MTN NG app,
you get 10% extra airtime
for evening, okay?
10% extra airtime on top your recharge.
Wait, what do you call the app again?
My MTN NG app.
Correct. I did download now. Hey, that's wrong. Give me 1 gig one time. Oh yeah, make I go recharge with my debit card. Make I follow collect 2 gig plus 10% extra recharge.
Terms and conditions apply. What are we doing today?
If you had the opportunity to choose, would you walk from Surulere to Ikeja or just take a ride? Would you fly economy for 20 hours or just fly privately? So, why would you settle for less when you can enjoy much more when you open an account on the Carbon app? It's time to change the way you bank and open yourself to a world of financial freedom and convenience with a Carbon account. With a Carbon account, you can turn every purchase into installments at 0%, create a savings plan, and earn up to 15.5% interest. Enjoy cashback every month on all debit card spend and monthly interest by just leaving money in your account. It gets better. You enjoy free transfers, free debit cards, and so much more. You always earn with a Carbon account. Get started today by downloading the app from the Google Play Store or iOS App Store. Carbon, change the way you bank.
Easy betting, easy winning. One expert at the sharing service to make deposits easily with high odds and Yakata bonus on the spot. Click onexbet.ng now to register. Use best odds NG as promo code to get 300% bonus up to 189,280 naira on top your first deposit. It's very easy to use and it's very easy to win. OneXBet, the reliable bookmaker.
Risi, where's your sister?
She's in the bedroom.
Oh yeah, call her for me.
Baraka, mommy's calling you.
Hey, Risi, Joe, please buy me chill drink from Dogo.
Dogo, you there outside?
Okay, so we got 40 seconds to come in,
sorry,
and
please check if it's
right
your daddy
into it.
that's at the door.
Plenty of ad breaks.
You that your line had been blocked. How did you get the credit that you're using, K?
I linked my NIN to my MTN line and got 20K free airtime.
Yes, so link your NIN to your MTN line today and get 20,000 naira bonus airtime. Visit any MTN center near you to begin.
Mommy, where are you going?
MTN Experience Center, of course. You think it's only you that like good tea, eh?
Okay,
Terms
we're
and
in.
conditions apply.
Smooth.
We are your #1 adult contemporary.
Thank you for staying with us. Thank you for sticking it out with us. And of course, thank you for telling your friends and family about us. Right now, you're listening to Soul Sisters here on Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life. My name is Oluwaseun. We are discussing what you were not told about pregnancy. Earlier this morning in my chat with Shokwe, we were discussing, and I don't know if I should say having fun, just talking about how you see a woman who's so beautiful, so pretty, fair-skinned, and then she gets pregnant and she's the opposite of that, nose enlarged about 3 times the size, and we're wondering what's going on. In fact, there was a video I watched this morning. It was so funny, yet so emotional, because she was pregnant. She didn't know how she was feeling, and she was complaining and shouting at the man, saying that it is his fault for the way she was feeling. She was hot from inside. She could not describe how she was feeling. So we are telling you some of the things that you were not told about pregnancy. So it is important for you to have the extra information, even though the experience can be quite different sometimes. And that's why I have my special guest this morning joining me via Zoom. Her name is Dr. Chioma, and she is popularly known on social media, generally brand-wise, as Dr. Zobo. So again, thank you for being my guest this morning. Now, You're a doctor. You are a reproductive health advocate, public health educator. You are a practicing doctor, again, emphasis on that. And you're a mother. Tell me, how was it? In terms of merging what you have taught, what you have known, and the experience, how was it?
Okay, Sharon, thank you so much for that. I think in one sentence, I would give an instance of myself in the labor room and the nurses telling me, "Oh, you're a doctor, now, trying to use the doctor thing on me," and I just kept saying, "You guys, free me." Like theory is different from practical, so I think that's my experience. That's one thing they still use in Yabi me, yeah. But I kept repeating theory is different from practical because that's the truth. So theory is good, right? Information gives you an edge because most of the things that kind of spring up and not surprising. They don't catch you unaware. At some point, for the symptoms or some of the experiences you get to have in pregnancy, you kind of know how to cushion some of the effects just because you have prior information. However, the experiences are not. I don't think they've been totally expressed. It's not something, no matter how I try, even in this conversation, to explain it, it only just scratches the surface. Most importantly, because it's very different for every woman. I mean, some people go through pregnancies without even experiencing anything, like nothing much. Of course, you experience some things, but they don't have they don't have that pregnancy will humble you experience. While some women, on the other
Yeah.
hand, are well in it. Like they are like the textbook representation of what pregnancy and symptoms would be. And I wouldn't say unfortunately, however, you don't know what's coming. That's the, if I use the word loosely, unfortunate thing is that you don't know what's coming for you. You don't know what to expect. You can't say these are the symptoms I want to have or I'm going to have. So I could just handpick what I want, and what I don't want just goes. So, and it's also not just different from woman to woman. It's also different from pregnancy to pregnancy, which means you have two pregnancies or two pregnancy experiences, or even four, no matter the number, each of them are going to be different. While you have some experience as you go ahead or go from baby or pregnancy to pregnancy, the experiences are never, similar. So it's really important that information is given. However, in my own case, really the experience, it was not this, it wasn't just exactly what theory told me. I'll summarize it as that. Yeah.
No, we do not want the summary, just sprinkles of details. Yeah, because I am thinking you already, like you mentioned earlier, you already have all the the theoretical knowledge. And it's just supposed to maybe be a walk in the park, since, for instance, if you have a headache, you know that you're supposed to use a particular kind of drug, and you can clerk yourself as a doctor. You know how you're feeling, you know the symptoms. So how was it? How different was the theory from the practical for you?
Okay. It wasn't so different as in that I was caught unawares or I was surprised. It was more like being in the situation myself. So I got a first-hand experience, being that it was my first pregnancy. So I got a first-hand experience of what my clients, my patients have been going through, my mother, my aunts, all the women around me. So I got to really understand it better. And one of the things that it did for me is it kind of made me, I don't know, I don't want to say relatable, but with my clients and my patients right now, I can really understand what they're going through when they are talking to me about some certain symptoms, because I was never trivializing, right? I've never been that kind of doctor. But it just can't cross my mind at this point, to try to commonize or trivialize any symptom anybody has, because I understand sometimes some people feel pregnant women are overreacting, like the video you cited. Some people I saw some comments where like, women wahala on our own too much, that kind of thing. But the truth is a journey. It's something that the person who is actually going through it can't even understand themselves in some instances. So for me, I think it all started from even finding out I was pregnant. So I think, and for anybody who is listening, one of the things to understand is the only experience of pregnancy and finding about pregnancy that most Nigerians or most Africans, most people might have is from the media, from movies. Just go on TV or Nollywood. Once a girl just stands up and jumps out and she's retching, or maybe she's sleeping too much and her mother comes out, Nkechi, you are vomiting this early morning, that kind of thing. Or you are sleeping. Who is responsible? Our mothers, I like to tell our mothers that they are like walking ultrasounds, like they are moms in tech. I know. So they don't need they just know. They look at you and they just know. However, it's not reliable to just think that that's the only symptom there is for pregnancy. In my own case, I wasn't vomiting. I didn't have any of those. I think for the sleep part, it was when I found out I was pregnant that it made more sense why I've been feeling a bit tired lately. For me, it was more about, this drowsiness a bit. I had that. But one of the weird things about mine was it was a certain crave for a particular kind of fruit that was in season.
What fruit?
Yeah. I don't know so some people call it tamarind. They say the English name is tamarind. I wouldn't know, or African tamarind, but we call it icheku, or I don't know what they
call it babadi.
Exactly. I think that's it. So that was
craving that.
Yes. Like it was crazy. It was that bad. I always loved it, but you won't understand. It was that bad that I had to wake my husband up one morning around 7 a.m. to go help me get there. This particular woman that gets it from Cotonou, and he looked at me like, "Are you okay? Like, are you normal? Like, what's wrong with you? I'm telling you, I remember there was traffic one time. That's when I actually knew that I think maybe something is wrong. There was traffic. I had to use a bike. I'm scared of bikes. Yeah. I had to use a bike and I went straight to the woman's meeting. In fact, I didn't have any of the nausea and vomiting until about 10 weeks in. So in my case, it was not like the classical textbook thing. It was just that change in appetite, a little bit of feeling sleepy at odd hours, because normally I'm up on my feet, but I just got a bit tired. So it started from that point. So one of the things that I would want anyone to know is you don't start comparing your pregnancy journey with another person's pregnancy journey. And that because you're having different symptoms, right, doesn't mean that something is wrong with you. There are many symptoms that are under discussed when it comes to even finding out your pregnancy or early pregnancy, not just nausea, vomiting. There's drowsiness. For some people, they start to speed. For some people, change in appetite. For some people, frequent urination. For some people, diarrhea. For some people, constipation. It's just a whole lot. So seeing that thread, it was really relatable. Going through that thread, it was really relatable. And I think another thing I have to mention is some of the complications that also come in pregnancy depends on a person's health status at the time of pregnancy. So if you were already at risk for certain diseases like hypertension or diabetes, or even have a family history, that could affect both the outcome of the pregnancy and also the pregnancy journey in itself. If you remember on the thread, I think one of the significant things was some people talking about how they went blind after they had a baby. Yeah. So, and some people just couldn't wrap their head around that. Some people could relate. Oh, I know someone this happened to, and some people felt they were exaggerating. But then that happens, and that's associated with hypertension in pregnancy. So when a woman is hypertensive in pregnancy, it's called preeclampsia, and if it's not well managed, it can progress to eclampsia. That's when she goes into fits or convulsions, and it's an emergency. So for some women who are hypertensive in pregnancy, especially if it's not well managed, whenever they go into labor, that whole strain, the whole adrenaline surge, everything, of course, it peaks the blood pressure of the woman, and it could actually lead, that blood pressure of vessels can actually damage some precortical cells in the eye. So we say it's reversible. Most of the time it's reversible, but depending on the extent of the damage, some women are able to regain most of their sight, some regain all of their sight, and some, just a minority, as I said, depending on how severe, lose their sight from then on. So it just depends also on how well you manage pregnancy. So pregnancy is something that we need to understand affects a woman's whole being. I mean, psychologically, physically, spiritually, emotionally. So she needs all the support. And you never know what's coming your way. You never know what's coming your way. That's one of the things, I have a lot more shockers that happened to me, but I'll just hear from you before I continue, show.
So we will take a break, and when we come back, we definitely want the details on those shockers, some of them. And secondly, I want to go further into some of those things that were highlighted. I have seen someone, so I made a post in reference to the post that was made by our official page on Twitter. There was a time I saw a red carpet interview by a Hollywood actress. I don't remember her name now, but she was joking. It was an interview by the entertainment channel, and she said, oh, when you have a baby, your brain goes with it. And I laughed so hard because I thought it was funny. I didn't know what that was. I thought she was just joking until I came across a loved one who had a baby, and she started having memory gaps, and I couldn't wrap my head around that. So we will go further into some of those memory loss, hair loss. I don't know, what. You know what? We will go on a break, and when we come back, we will try to unbundle and unpack why that happens, given your medical knowledge and, of course, your own experience too. So if you're joining us for the first time, you're very welcome. This is Soul Sisters here on Smooth 98.1, and we are digging deep into those things you were not told about pregnancy.
Point one.
Someone said it is licky on WhatsApp.
You will tell me the secret to your power. How did that keke move without a driver?
Yes, they call it licky too.
It's the power of 5G.
Wow, that's interesting. So you woke him up early in the morning to go and look for.
I don't even want to know. Another thing I woke him up to go get is and since I had my baby, I've never had it again. This I think it's called Ewagoin. I'm not Yoruba, but it was my first time I ever had it was when I was pregnant. That's the beans and oil. Yeah, I think that's Ewagoin. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Ewagoin.
With plantain. Yeah, with plantain, and then there was this dry fish in it. Yes. Oh my God. My husband would go and line up. When he finally showed me where he goes to line up, I really apologized. Terrible.
Oh my God. No, I remember seeing someone's story saying that there was a food that she would get when she was pregnant, and when she was done having her baby, the smell of that food just makes her want to throw up. And I just couldn't get what happened. Because it's crazy. The things that just happen. Go ahead.
One expert.
Did you hear me?
One expert. The most reliable service to make it.
No, I
didn't. Can you hear me? The network is. Yeah, your audio is breaking. It was coming in and out. All right, I said there was a particular person that I read of her story, and she said there was a time she was pregnant, and there was this food joint she would always send or at least go to buy food from. When she was done, that food, every time she smelled it, nauseated her. Every time. Because in fact, she couldn't even imagine how she was able to eat food from that place when she was having a baby. Nah, the hormones are crazy.
Get up to 2 gig data if you charge 500 naira or more on my MTN NG app.
Do you want to change location a bit?
That's not all. We also get 10% extra on every airtime recharge made on my MTN NG app.
Are you there? Can you hear me?
That's correct.
Yeah.
You get 1 gig free data when you download my MTN AG app. Up to 2 gig when you recharge 500 naira and above with your debit card on my MTN AG app. And 10% extra on every recharge made on the app. So what are you waiting for? Download my MTN AG app today to enjoy. Terms and conditions apply. Guys, what are we doing today?
All right, we're coming back in.
You're on Nigeria's #1 station for soul, jazz, and funk. Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life.
And I hope you love the conversation we're having now on Soul Sisters here on Smooth 98.1. We're discussing the untold truths, yes, about pregnancy. That it has not happened to you or you have not seen it firsthand does not mean it does not exist. So we are unbundling that here on Soul Sisters. You can be a part of it, by the way. You can call 01-448-9981. You can actually share your own pregnancy chronicles, dear listener, female. And if you're a male, maybe you were in the category of people that were woken up around 2 a.m. to go buy a certain kind of beans or yam, or there is this joint that your wife or partner would want a food from, or you had some of those really interesting experiences. So you can call on the number 01-448-9981. Again, 01-448-9981. You can send your WhatsApp messages to 0809-444-0981. Again, 0809-444-0981. That's the WhatsApp line. But do not forget Twitter. It is Smooth981 FM. That's the handle to tag. And the hashtag is Soul Sisters 981. I actually would love to hear some stories of some women who went through pregnancy and how it was for them. So I will take this call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Can you hear me? Oh, okay, your audio is coming in and out. Can you try again? Hello?
Yeah.
All right, great. You can go ahead. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is
I can hear you well.
Yeah, not the
Hello?
I said a man calling.
Okay, yes. All right. So what's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Lagos Traffic.
All right. So did you have one of those interesting experiences with your wife?
Yeah. So when a woman is pregnant, her husband is pregnant.
Okay.
All pregnancy is really one of the unique things that make woman different from man. I respect women a lot because of it. I went to it recently, and I know what she's really going through. In fact, the sleepless night, they turned around. Sometimes the family wouldn't want that family. Another the part, he will not want. In the middle of the night, he may wake up that he's hungry. And once she will tell you that your baby is hungry, you have to go and prepare food. It's not you, your baby is hungry. You understand? You have to go and prepare food, get her up. So I think women go a lot. They pass through a lot. During and after pregnancy. You understand?
Thank you for sharing.
After pregnancy, they go through a lot. So I'm calling on them to really take that part.
Thank you.
That aspect of that life.
Thank you for appreciating the women and, of course, being a supportive husband.
I'm not just of people at all.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your morning. All right, then you can also share your own experience as a man or woman, like Emeka said. When you're pregnant, when your wife is pregnant, you are also pregnant, and both of you are in it together. So 014489981 is the line to call, and WhatsApp messages go to 0809 4440981. My guest this morning is Dr. Chioma, and also she is called Dr. Zobo. You can find her across all social media platforms, very active with the health education and information. So back to it, Dr. Chioma, are you back with me?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you. Very loud and clear. Network wanted to try something funny. So back to what we were saying earlier. So I said hearing loss, for instance, and you mentioned what was the one you mentioned again? Okay, blindness. You already explained how that comes about, but hearing loss, what happens? How does that happen?
Okay, so I mentioned earlier that a whole lot of factors come into play, especially what was your health status before time and the like. So the hearing loss, sight loss, and also memory loss, because that happens, or memory gaps, because that happens a lot, and it's worse from the third trimester. In fact, I dare say it happens throughout a mother's time. Even postpartum, it just keeps advancing or even reducing at some point, but it's kind of present there, and it's the factor of different events that happen. Let's take the hearing loss. So for the hearing loss, it could also be because of underlying health issues. Because when you have those kind of symptoms, they are those symptoms that are like natural symptoms, things that just happen because of hormonal play, hormonal interplay. So yeah, so those ones you could say they just come with the pregnancy, but there are complications. I'm using the word complications just like this, and they are not, if I have to say, normal. They are not. We want to look into it. What caused it? It could be because of the blood pressure. It could be because of the increase in blood sugar. It could be an underlying. Some people already have blood clotting issues and the like. So there are different things which I can't even start going into. But anyone who experiences that will know that their doctors want to probe further to find out what, or they might already know that they might have that risk, right? So the major thing is, that's one of the major reasons we advise women that once you're pregnant, or once you discover or suspect you're pregnant, and then maybe you check, find out, the next step is to go to the hospital. Some people feel, oh, I've had one baby, I know how it goes, I don't need to register for antenatal on time. I am a doctor, but I never missed one antenatal class, because aside, of course, I know that there's nothing they're coming to teach there that I've not heard before. I don't know. I've not even thought myself. However, one of the things that antenatal classes did for a lot of women, and for me too, is shared experiences. You get to see people who are going through what you're going through. So it's kind of like a support group system too, that makes you feel better about yourself. That's one. Number two, you get to see people who have had experiences that they can share with you, practical experiences. I give you an instance: water breaking. Now, when we say this is what it feels like when your water breaks, it's theoretical. No matter how much you want to imagine it, you might never really understand if you've not seen it, or experienced it. So when you see, we've had cases, we will come for antenatal class, someone's water breaks, and they were like, oh, okay, now this is what it looks like. Now, I'm not speaking for myself, I'm just speaking generally because I have seen. Now, you say, oh, this is what it feels like, or someone is sharing their experience and they say, okay, it feels like warm water, because this is a recurrent, this particular question, I brought it up because women always ask, how do I know that it's my water and not a discharge, or I'm not leaking urine? How do I know it's my water breaking? So when you come for antenatal, you get practical answers, and then the doctors, when you go to the clinic, they is a focused based antenatal care they're giving you based on your health, and every other issue that is surrounding you. Are you living alone? Do you have support? Are you a single mom? Do you have your partner in your life? Is your partner outside the country or within? What's the transportation system like in case of an emergency? What do you do? All those things are really important. Now, the memory loss part you mentioned before we left, it could be because of hormones, because during pregnancy, a whole lot of hormones, including the stress hormones, there's an interplay of hormones that could ultimately affect some part of the brain. Another reason, while there's no known cause, these are like the speculations um, in medical science. So another area that could be responsible for this is stress and anxiety that comes with pregnancy. So the more stressed, the more anxious you are. Of course, the more it affects your cognitive abilities. Another thing is sleep hygiene. During pregnancy, the sleep pattern is distorted. You're sleeping at odd hours when you should sleep at night, and it's worse during the third trimester because if you've been pregnant or you've had a partner who is pregnant, I'm sure you can relate to the audience listening, they can relate to the fact that sleeping positions become difficult, especially during the third trimester. You don't know whether you want to lie on your side. You don't know whether to stand up or kneel down. There are some times, I'm telling you, it was really, really uncomfortable for me. Sometimes I'll just start crying because I can't sit. Of course, I can't lie on my back. Someone just tweeted yesterday, I didn't know pregnant women can't lie on their back. Yeah, you can't lie on your back because the baby will most likely compress a major vessel in the abdomen, the aorta, abdominal aorta, which could become another issue, right? And it's not even comfortable. It's not even comfortable for you. The weight of the baby is just on you. Then you can't lie on your belly. And that was like my favorite sleeping position. Before I got pregnant, I just lie on my belly. So you can imagine how frustrating it was for me. Lying on my side, that side gets numb. I turn to the other side, it gets numb. I sit up, I'm uncomfortable, my neck. So you see that sleep distortion, of course, when you don't sleep, even within or outside pregnancy, when your sleep is distorted, it affects you as a person, your mental function for that day. So that's why most times you see women having those memory gaps. You drop something, you can't remember, like you're holding something and you are looking for it. You enter a room and you're like, why did I enter this room right now? So it's a whole lot. It has a whole lot to do with stress, anxiety, hormones, and of course, sleep deprivation. There are a whole lot of other things that happen. But in my case, I would say the first trimester was it was the worst for me. Right?
I would have to interrupt that and keep that cooking. So we'll take this last break, and when we come back, we'll go right to your story. And when you're done, there is no way we're going to talk about this topic without talking about the delivery. The popular, vagina delivery are the absolute hallmark, and you should not go outside it.
Yeah.
If you give birth to your child through CS, you're lazy, you're weak. So we will talk a bit about that and then wrap this up. You're listening to Soul Sisters here on Smooth 98.1. So we'll just take this ad break, and when we come back, we continue with your first trimester, and then we'll talk about it.
Thank you.
You were the one that went with the phone, or was it Mariam? What were you guys doing on it? I needed it here. The phone is not meant to leave the studio, ideally.
Joe, please buy me chill drink from Dogo. Dogo, you there outside? I beg, help us make one chill drink.
Yeah, you can do it here, so you can plug the phone.
You that your line has been blocked. How did you get the credit that you're using?
I linked my NIN to my MTN line and got 20k free airtime.
Yes, so link your NIN to your MTN line today and get 20,000 naira bonus airtime. Visit any MTN center near you to begin.
Mommy, where are you going?
MTN Experience Center, of course. You think it's only you that like good tea, eh?
Terms and conditions apply.
You said your baby was not feeling too well. How is he now? Are you there?
Oh, okay, yes. So he's much better today. He was just throwing up and up and up all through yesterday and scared me. But yeah, his mother is a doctor. I've done my doctor part and left the rest to God. He's
Yeah.
much better. He's much better. Yeah, he's much better today. Mm, mm. I think he just got a stomach bug. Yeah, so he'll be fine.
Yeah, no matter how much of a doctor you are, the mother side will still kick in.
It
And
will always kick in. Like you literally forget everything you know medically,
yeah,
And one of the things that I always try my best to do is not to try to I'll call it self medicate, even though it's not me, right? So when these things just happen, I just reach out to the pediatrician immediately because if I try to do it on my own, I might make choices that will not even help him, right? So because my emotions will come to play.
yeah. Man, having a baby just changes your entire life.
My dear. You don't know how much. Honestly, like I'm like, what?
All right, we're coming in 10 seconds.
Terms and conditions apply. What are we doing today?
This is to me for your kind of.
And if you want the information too, like this one we're giving you on Soul Sisters, you should always keep it locked here on Smooth 98.1. It's Soul Sisters. We have about 5 more minutes before we say bye, which is really short. Time flies by so fast. My guest is Dr. Chioma, and we are talking about pregnancy and the journeys, what he does to a woman's life and the entirety of her body. And she was just going to tell us about how it was for her in the first trimester before that break. So over to you, Dr. Zobo.
Okay, thank you, Sharon. Because of time, I think I'll just rush through. I'll start by saying for the reason I'm sharing this story, just so maybe in case it's relatable to someone or people just understand that it's kind of different for everyone. So beginning of my first trimester was like it was quite the it was just smooth. At some point I was like, whoa, is this what it is? Right. And I was just cruising until week 10 and nausea kicked in and I I I don't ever want to have that experience in my life again. I'm pleading with God
Not
because
bad.
it was that bad. Like you could say just nausea, right? Nausea and vomiting. Everything. I couldn't hold down anything, and everything was the taste of everything was I can't explain. I think there are no
Wow.
words. It was terrible. And then I think my appetite I had this food aversion. Everything I loved, I didn't love again. And then I just had a total new diet. I started craving. Luckily for me, um, my cravings were not. They were not on non-nutritious, right? Which would be pica. I didn't have that. I was craving nutritious meals, but those nutritious meals that are rare, not easily available, and not readily and easily accessible, and like are really stressful to prepare. I mean, like traditional meals, all those uba, oba, agidi, all those things are really deep that you never catch me with on a normal day. I'm telling you.
This is interesting.
I remember going trekking 30 minutes in the night because I was afraid to drive that night. It had just finished raining, and I had this pregnant friend of mine. So we were two pregnant women taking a walk. We walked 30 minutes just to locate a woman that makes a moi moi with palm oil in the night. It was that bad. So, because I know our husbands were not around at the time. So that was it. And but my second trimester was the flex. I have to say, it was as if when I got to week 15, it was as if everything I'd been going through just lifted, and I had this surge of energy. Then third trimester was most of the pressure symptoms. So for the third trimester, women they should expect more of pressure symptoms, babies getting bigger. So most of the issues you're probably going to have, all things being equal, will have to do with pressure. You're having back or waist pain. You're having maybe leg swelling in some cases. That didn't happen to me. But in case you are listening, one of the things that I did, because I tried to prevent it before time, is that I got really comfortable shoes. So you could get Crocs, you could get they're just those kind of shoes that absorb your weight. That helps you, because when you don't do that, or you're walking on the bare floor or walking on hard footwear, the fluid kind of.
Are you there? Oh no, this is the wrong time to go off. Oh no, 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 no. Come back, please. The network. I hope you return in a minute because we're out of.
I can
Are you
hear
there?
you.
Great.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
I
I
was
didn't hear you.
all this while. I think my network went off or something.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
We were
so I
talking
was saying
about the fluid.
yeah. Yes, the fluid on. Yes, I was saying get really comfortable footwear, compression socks if you're having leg swelling. That really helps. A whole lot of back and waist massage also helps. Pillows should be your best friend when you're lying down or sitting. Anything to prevent you even getting the waist pain and also partners need to be very, very supportive. Everybody around needs to understand that the pregnant woman is not overreacting. For her to have that seamless journey, she deserves all the support that she can get. And of course, liaise with your hospital for emergency cases. How do you reach out if you are in labor? What are the labor signs? All those things should readily be available. And you mentioned something about the mode of delivery.
Yeah.
So one of the key things that we need to understand is you prepare for everything. And that's why I always advise women, and even both husband and wife, pregnancy is not something you rush into. You have to prepare. So that's why I also tell the society, stop pressurizing people and asking them, when are you getting pregnant? Stop womb watching, because people have their own life calendar and they are working according to their time. They know when they are ready financially, spiritually, emotionally, and say, okay, I'm ready to have a child. So when that happens, you should prepare, especially financially. And when you're financially prepared, prepare for both a cesarean section and prepare for a vaginal delivery. It could go both ways. Even if all things have been equal and you are going to have a vaginal delivery, sometimes it goes both ways. Now, this is not me wishing you anything that maybe the African mindset is feeling I'm wishing you, but it's reality. And when we are talking about delivery, there's nothing like a normal and abnormal delivery. A normal delivery for us is that mommy or mother and the baby are alive and well. That's a good delivery, and that's what we're about. That's a safe delivery. It doesn't matter the route or the method of delivery, as long as the woman and the baby are out and alive. That's the priority. Every other thing is secondary. So it could be a natural birth, vaginal, or it could be assisted. Even vaginal deliveries can be assisted. So whatever it is that is safe that they need to do, please don't be the one to say, oh, because of this, or because of my belief, or because of what people will say. Those things are so secondary, and people should understand that cesarean section is not the devil's handwork. It doesn't mean a woman is lazy. It doesn't mean a woman can't push. There are different reasons and indications for a cesarean section. Maybe the woman's hips might be too narrow and the baby's head could probably get stuck if she decides to push. Is that what you want, for the baby to be beheaded? Or for the woman, so people need to understand that there are indications. And when your doctor tells you this is the indication, if you're in doubt, that's cool. You could get a second opinion if you want to. However, if it's an emergency case, of course, you know that you might not have the benefit of a second opinion because of time. So always understand that your doctor has your best interest at heart. If you have questions, please feel free to ask questions. Don't just say the doctor said. Ask, why am I doing this? What do you recommend? What are the other options available? Discuss your birthing options. Do you allow partners in the delivery room? What can my partner do to assist? What do I need? All those kind of conversations are really important. And that's why I also advocate greatly for antenatal care. So I think that's about it. Time will not even
We are
let us
totally
exhaust
out of time, super over time. And I'm hoping we could have a part 2 of this, especially I want to talk about the delivery methods and what influences it. So we'll definitely have a part 2 of this. I hope you will fit us into your schedule later on. I will come behind the scene to discuss that. Well, thank you so much. I have to let you go now. Thank you so much for being there and being a part of this, sharing the information. You can find Dr. Chioma across all social media platforms at Dr. Zobo. So Dr. Zobo on Twitter, Dr. Zobo on Instagram, and of course, I think Chioma Nwakanma on LinkedIn. I hope I got that right.
Yes.
All right, so you can check out our platform and also get more educated and also reach out for anything. So you can still find this video on YouTube, by the way. It is youtube.com/smooth92 FM Lagos. The news is coming right up. 98.1. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon.
So I'll reach out later when you are ready for a part 2, because I would like us to talk about that delivery methods and yes, what influences the vagina, the epidural, the CS.
Yeah. That epidural story is really funny. I was meant to get an epidural and I didn't get one. And I don't want to talk about it. Man, the pain is out of this world. Yeah, so it just goes to let people know that you need to expect everything. So by the time I could get to the hospital, I was already past. I'd already expanded. Let me use that word. My CM, because I was meant to do it at 4 cm, but I got to the hospital. I was 6 cm. So at this point, the labor was progressing so fast. I couldn't sit still for them to give me the spinal, and epidural and all that. So I had to go through it. I had to go through the pain, honestly, because I didn't get there on time. So all these things are things that we need to really discuss. No matter, some people just say, oh, I'll just do the epidural. My friend got epidural, but she still felt every pain. So people just need to understand that, get ready for everything. That's what I say. Because with the epidural, she doesn't take alcohol, nothing, but still she felt everything. It hadn't settled in. The baby was going, the pressure was going fast. The labor was progressing fast, which is good, but she felt every pain. She got the epidural. In my own case, I kept begging them for epidural and they said they couldn't give me because I probably might have gotten a spinal injury because the pain was much. I couldn't sit still. I was losing my mind, So that's a very good conversation. That's what I'm trying to say. People just need to understand.
I'm looking forward to it. So whenever you are up for it, please let me know. But I will check in towards the end of this week. So maybe it could be 2 weeks time, or whenever you're up. We could discuss it either on a Wednesday or on a Saturday.
Okay, just let me know when it's closed. So I just create the time.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Busy.
In here, let me go and see him. He has been banging on the chair. I locked him around his play area. So just be like, where is this woman?
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, bye.